Hopefully get a few more people. Okay, I'm going to start. People can catch up if they want to. The first thing that I'm going to ask for is a little bit of feedback from you guys. So just have a think to begin with. Just think of one thing that you've really enjoyed from this sort of series of videos and workouts, and then one thing that maybe like I need to improve in order to make it better for you guys. Just have a think about that for a few seconds. I'm going to pick names out at random. Obviously, if you want to unmute yourself and say something, go for it. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. So for the guys that have just joined, just think of one thing that you've really enjoyed with these sessions, and then one thing you think I need to improve on, or you think can be done in future to make it a little bit more enjoyable. The first person I'm going to come to is Sophie Pete. So if you want to unmute yourself, because I've muted everyone. If you want to unmute yourself and just tell me the answer to that question.
I've enjoyed how it's really been challenging. It's pushed me.
Good. Anything that we need to improve on in order to make it a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more fun, or anything you want to work on in the future?
A bit longer for rests.
Okay. Yeah, we can sort that out. Thank you very much, Sophie. The next person I'm going to come to is Louise. If you want to unmute yourself, one thing that you've enjoyed and one thing that we could do better in order to make this more enjoyable for you.
So I really like how each week it's progressed forwards and there's like a slightly different focus, but it's still kind of like progressing on from the week before. I don't think there's anything really I'd want to be different. I don't know. I just really like the balance between the theory and then like the physical. I don't know.
Perfect. No, that's good. Thank you very much. I'm going to come to one more person. Someone who I've never spoken to before. Who am I going to come to? Ellie Blackledge, I'm going to come to you. So one thing that you've enjoyed and one thing that we need to improve in order to make it a little bit more fun.
I think the thing that I've enjoyed is the same as the first point. It's really pushed me. I think if we spoke about what we'd been doing after the workout bit, then just to say what it's really pushed us towards, if you get what I mean.
Okay, so in terms of like the reasons why you've worked out afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We can schedule that in. I'll just need to be a bit quicker at the start so we can have 5 minutes at the end. Perfect. Thanks for that, everyone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start sharing now. Again, today I'm after a little bit of interaction as well. I want loads of people either answering questions or asking questions. Tonight it's about something that's very, very important to everyone. We all do it, and I'm pretty sure everyone has a comment on it in some form. It's all about sleep today. So without further ado, I'll start sharing. I've had to change the format for today just because I had some issues this morning in terms of being able to see presentations and stuff. So can everyone see that okay?
Yeah. Perfect.
So today we're going to be talking about sleep. I'm going to say it's not an excuse for you guys to go to sleep. This is the best photo I could find of a fencer looking like they were asleep, but no falling asleep during the presentation. What we're going to do is talk about why it's so important, basically in itself to everyone, and then why as athletes it's a little bit more important to us. What sleep hygiene is, and then tips for improving your sleep. We'll just have a discussion. We can work around those as well. So the first thing I'm going to say, what do these two guys have in common? I'm going to come to Ben Andrews. What do you reckon these two have got in common? It's related to sleep.
I'm going to go for something like they get over 10 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah, bang on. You've knocked that nail right on the head. Both of these guys, so both champions in their respective sports, they report getting around 12 hours sleep a day, Roger Federer, much the same. He went on an interview and basically said he doesn't feel right unless he's had at least 12 hours sleep. So these are the best of the best when it comes to sports. So that's if that's saying something in itself, that these guys get a lot of sleep, it either sleep's helping them perform or something along those lines. So in terms of why do we need to sleep, cell regrowth and repair is one of the things that scientists reckon that we need sleep for. In terms of memory as well, we basically reprocess our thoughts when we go to sleep. It's basically like revising, but you're doing it without even knowing. Maturation, development, and learning as well. So very important for teenagers, very important for children as well, and for you guys. So most of you will be sitting exams in some form at some point. So sleep is very, very beneficial for you in terms of learning. Links to sport, cell regrowth and repair. So from our sessions that we complete in the gym, the sessions that we complete on the piste, we're going to be a little bit battered from those. We've put a lot of demand, a lot of stress on our system or bodily systems, and sleep is just a really good opportunity for those systems to come back stronger. In terms of learning and potentially memory as well, we've got skill acquisition. So if you learn a new move during one of your lessons, you're probably less likely to remember it or less likely to get better at it if you haven't had very much sleep or very good sleep. So it's just saying how important it is. Okay, so in terms of why do we sleep, or why sleep is very important for sport, important for fencing. Poor performance is very much linked to sleep deprivation, or sleep deprivation is very much linked to poor performance. Just think, if you're turning up to a competition with only a few hours worth of sleep, you're not going to be performing as well. I'm sure we've all got stories of when we've turned up to internationals. I certainly have, when we've only had like a few hours sleep, whether that be from flying really early morning flights, and you just don't seem to perform as well, which is that beneficial, or is that a sort of environment that we want to be in for optimal performance? Probably not. So in terms of getting sleep, that's very much important when it comes to getting or performing as best that we can. Okay, increased injury risk with less sleep. So you're looking at, if you get less than 8 hours sleep, athletes are 1.7 times more likely to get injured. There could be a number of mechanisms behind that. Maybe just focusing less, less aware of what's going on around them, so they're more likely to get an acute injury. But then other stuff like you're just not going to be as fresh, you wouldn't have recovered from the session a few days ago, and then all of this builds up chronically over a period of time. And then there we go, there's the statistic: 1.7 times more likely to get injured if you get less than 8 hours sleep. So in terms of what controls sleep, this on the screen, or that little photo you should be seeing, is your sleep-wake cycle. And I found this really interesting. Perhaps one of the most interesting things I've ever looked at is you can actually map on the sleep-wake cycle different stages. Can everyone see my cursor on the screen at the moment?
Yeah.
Perfect. So when you at midnight here, then you're going to move around now. We've got our deepest sleep, lowest body temperature. So we're in like basically really deep sleep around these hours. Sharpest rise in blood pressure, maybe not relevant to us as fencers, but actually statistically you're more likely to have a heart attack around this time in the morning. Nothing, little fact, got nothing to do with fencing. Melatonin, I'm going to be talking about that in a minute, but secretion of melatonin stops. That's one of our sleep hormones. In really simple terms, if you've got an increased melatonin, or you're secreting a lot of melatonin, you're going to be getting ready to go to sleep. Bowel movements, highest testosterone secretion, and then around 10 o'clock, you're feeling really alert. I certainly do at this time in the morning, and then it kind of tapers off throughout the day. One of the interesting things for us, greatest cardiovascular efficiency and muscular strength at around 5 o'clock. So what time do fencing clubs start? We're looking at around these few hours. So potentially that's a good thing for us. but then it becomes interesting when we're actually talking about when our competition times are. And then again, talking about melatonin, secretion starts around 9 o'clock. That's when your body's starting to get ready for bed. And then you should be going into some deep sleep. This is the ideal, but it's not always the case, okay? So this is the theoretical sleep-wake cycle. It's very, very different for many people, and that depends on these things called Zeitgebers, serotonin and melatonin production as well. When I'm talking about internal clocks, the cells in our bodies, they've all got this sort of like internal clock that basically goes round, and they can tell when they need to be asleep, when they need to be awake, and it's all dependent on this thing here. So Zeitgebers, these are basically external things from the environment that are going to potentially increase, decrease the production of serotonin and melatonin. So melatonin being your sleep hormone. When you're secreting melatonin, you're going to be getting ready for bed. Melatonin helps you sleep, and then serotonin is the opposite. So when this secretion of serotonin stops, you're getting that sort of increase in, when this secretion of melatonin stops, you're getting this increase of serotonin. That's when you're going to start to wake up. In terms of Zeitgebers, or external Zeitgebers as they're sometimes called, they're just things that are external to the body that influence sleep. So basically light, temperature, temperature of the surroundings, meal times as well. Our bodies are very, very good, or very receptive to changes in meal times, loads and loads of things. So in terms of like impacting the sleep-wake cycle, we're actually looking to potentially manipulate some of these Zeitgebers in order to get a better chance to sleep, or maybe make this body clock a little bit more optimal for us. So how do we impact the sleep-wake cycle for performance? So napping, I'm sure you've sat through a lecture before about this. I know I have with British Fencing, where they've really gone on about the benefits of a power nap. And yeah, power naps are awesome. There's research suggesting that really even just like a few minutes, so we're talking 10, 20 minutes of napping during the day is really beneficial, and it can help you catch up with that sleep that you're not getting, or maybe potentially not getting for other reasons, be that training or other commitments. However, maybe look to do these before the early afternoon, because we really don't want to hinder our nocturnal sleep. And a really good way of doing it, if you're going to be doing it properly, so you've got a power nap, maybe you're on a training camp and you've got training after lunch, have some caffeine before. I know that sounds quite weird in terms of caffeine and sleep, but if you have caffeine before a little nap, caffeine will probably take about 30 minutes to get into your system, 30 minutes to 60. If you have a little power nap, you're going to be waking up quite alert afterwards. Light as well, that's another way in which we can impact our sleep-wake cycle. Think about cavemen times. They didn't have clocks. They basically woke up when it was sunny and went to sleep when it was dark. So we're really looking at this, avoiding high energy light before bed. So that's talking about blue light. Blue light's got a really short wavelength, which means it's really high energy, and that pretty much affects all our like internal clocks in our cells, basically telling us that it's daytime still. And then training at the time we compete. This probably isn't, it's hard for fencers, because obviously the social norm in fencing is that clubs are in the evening, but and we obviously compete first thing in the morning. But that's just something to think about. Maybe when it comes to gym training, or it comes to another session during the day, training at the time we compete, so your body is ready for being in action, and it's not sleepy, or you're not lethargic. The same can be true for when we're going abroad. So for the guys who, if you're traveling to America, if you're traveling like quite far away where there is a big time difference, training at the time that we compete, a pretty good way that we can sort of prep our bodies for that situation. So thinking of just an example in the UFC, so mixed martial arts fighting, you get people who are basically training at the time that they're going to compete in their event, even though that time is basically 2 in the morning for their time. So they're up at night, they're doing some late night sessions and running. So that's just something to think about when it comes to fencing. Maybe putting a run in the morning or a gym session around the time that you're going to be starting fencing. Moving on to sleep hygiene. So it's not washing your hands before bed. It's very much just little tips and tricks of how to get better sleep. So they're pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to try and explain around them as well. So the first one's a quiet environment. Obviously, any sort of distracting noise is going to be one of those things that's going to keep you awake. I know Ben's got experience of this, but I like to listen to rain before I go to bed. So I put rain on. That helps me go to sleep. It's just that like soothing, calming background noise. Some people can't sleep if it's too quiet, and I'm one of those. Room temperature, 18 degrees Celsius is the optimal room temperature for when it comes to going to bed. So I know it's winter at the moment. I know you've all got your radiators ramped up, but potentially maybe turn the radiators off in your morning. Turn the radiators off in your room, or open the windows just to cool those down before bed. Another really good way of manipulating temperature, or your core temperature, would be to have a warm bath before bed. So have a warm bath, and then what happens is, as you get out of that bath, your basically core temperature is trying to cool down. Your body's trying to cool down as much as possible. So when you actually step into bed, you've got that sort of decrease in temperature. Again, maybe potentially there's some sort of evolutionary benefit to that in terms of cavemen. So when it gets to nighttime, those guys are getting the temperatures dropping, they're getting tired. So that's when they're going to sleep. Light bedding and clothing. Again, this is just a way of maintaining core temperature. Temperature is an external Zeitgeber that could basically get in the way of your sleep-wake cycle. I know that heat wave we had in summer, it was very, very hard to sleep. I'm pretty sure more than a few people experienced that. And then routine as well. Sleep wake times, keep them consistent, even on weekends. It's the best way of keeping a consistent sort of sleep habit, or having a consistent sleep wake cycle. Your body doesn't know if it's the weekend. So if you're getting up at 6 every day on the weekday and then getting up at 10 at the weekend, it's just confusing the hell out of your body. Same with going to sleep. If you keep those times consistent, your body gets better at adapting to them. A really good way of doing this is basically, if you want to get in the habit of it, it's setting an alarm for the time that you need to wake up. And even if you're not getting to sleep the night before and still waking up at that time, to say only getting like 5 hours sleep or something, that's just the start of getting yourself into the habit, and then your body will soon adapt to that. Stimulants, we're talking about caffeine. Caffeine has a half-life of around 6 hours, which basically means that half of its concentration is still in your body 6 hours after you consumed it. Caffeine attaches to something called an adenosine receptor, and when adenosine actually attaches to the receptor, that's what makes you feel tired. So caffeine blocks that action. So it's not good to be having caffeine at any time in the afternoon. So with caffeine and stuff, keep with that in the morning. Phone-free zone, I've already spoken about blue light, but it's basically really high energy light that tricks your body into thinking that you're awake. Same for TV. It's much better to read a book before bed rather than being on a screen. It just helps you get to sleep quicker. And then keep the room dark, and this is in capitals because it's really important. Blackout blinds, eye masks, whatever you need in order to keep the room dark. That will really help a lot. Does anyone have any questions on anything I've spoken about so far?
George, what about the kind of the power naps or naps as you call them?
Yeah.
What's the kind of optimal time, if there is one, for having one?
In terms of optimal time of going to sleep, or optimal time that you're napping for?
The actual length of the nap, yeah.
Only 10 to 20 minutes. I'd keep it nice and short. You don't want to keep it any longer than that, because it will just get in the way of your nocturnal sleep. Because at the end of the day, this nocturnal sleep is so much higher quality. You can there's several different types of sleep. Basically, when you're in nocturnal sleep, you get something called deep sleep, which is where you get all this restoration, regeneration of basically bodily functions and stuff. With a power nap, you're only getting light sleep, but it does impact performance. But I'd keep that to only 10 10-20 minutes in order to avoid getting in the way of this.
Cool, thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions?
What happens if you consistently lack sleep? Is there anything you can do about it?
In terms of consistently light sleeping,
Lack.
you consistently lack sleep.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is just to stick to these like sleep hygiene sort of methods. Sleep deprivation is quite a big thing. Quite a lot of people are chronically sleep deprived and don't even know it. There'll be people in this chat at the moment who are chronically sleep deprived. I'm definitely chronically sleep deprived. But at the end of the day, if you can stick to as many of these as possible and basically get yourself into as best position as possible when it comes to getting to bed, getting some nice sleep, then yeah, there's only benefits going to come out of that. If there's definitely things that we could do. I know for a fact not everyone would be sticking to these, especially this phone-free zone before bed. You know, quite a few people don't stick to that. So it's just a few things to think about, and maybe if you put them in place for you, maybe just experimenting and seeing what helps.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions just before I move on? Perfect. Right, I know you're getting sick and tired of me saying it, but I'm doing a study on fencing and caffeine. The question that keeps on coming up is, I don't drink caffeine. Do I still, like, would I still benefit from doing the study? Yes. This is just me reporting the caffeine consumption of fencers. It's really helpful to me. First of all, if you can fill this in for me. So for the guys that haven't, if you just want to take a photo of that. In terms of what you get out of it, it's completely anonymous. So I don't know if you've answered it, but you do have the option at the end to provide your email address, where you will get a report of the findings at the end of the study. And it will be quite interesting reading. You can learn a little bit about caffeine, how it could help your performance, and then basically the caffeine consumption of your competitors, your fellow fencers, and you can just see how you can potentially maybe manipulate your caffeine consumption in order to impact performance. So if you guys want to take a photo of that. And then, as always, this is my email address. If anyone's got any questions that they didn't want to ask during the session, feel free to send me an email on there. So I'm just going to stop sharing. Has that stopped sharing? Can everyone see me? Perfect. Right, we're going to get on with the session. So if everyone wants to find a little space, I'm going to get the program and my interval timer ready. Just a pre-warning, I've had a few issues with internet over the past few days, so if I do cut out at any point or you don't hear me speaking, it probably means that the internet's cut out, but there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Right, so get this interval timer sorted. Get that ready for in a minute. So onto the warm-up, starting off with the raised portion. Can people see my feet? Probably not, because the camera's not tilted. Hopefully everyone can see me. People able to see my feet? Yeah, thumbs up. Feet and head. Perfect. So the first thing that we're going to do is start off with some tiptoe walks. So if you've got the space above you, let's reach your arms nice and high in the air. If you don't, you can do hands on shoulders. And what I want you to do, if you've got the space, just march forwards, march back. We're staying on our tiptoes the entire time. This is just getting ourselves ready for action. The calves are a key injury point, as I've spoken about before, so just getting those nice and warm, ready for fencing. Just moving forwards and backwards. Perfect. Or you can stay in one spot. And from here, we're going to go into a jog. We're going to start off with a 5 out of 10 on our rating of perceived exertion. We're going to get stuck into these exercises quite quick. It's going to be quite a snappy warm-up, so that we can get some working out done. Hopefully there's some time at the end, and then we can really discuss what we've done today. A little bit of a debrief. And then let's take it up to a 6 out of 10. So just a little bit faster. Again, talking about the benefits or the sort of framework that we're going to be using for a warm-up. Raise, activate, mobilise and potentiate. Raise section, getting that core temperature up, getting your breathing rate up, and getting the blood flowing around your body. Plus at the moment it's pretty cold, so if anyone's in the garages, or you're outside, or you're like me in an external building, it is pretty chilly. So we just want to get ourselves nice and warm so we can be comfortable during the session. And let's just take it up to an 8 out of 10. So a little bit faster, and it's a jump as well. We're jumping straight to a higher intensity. And from here, we're going to throw in some heel flicks. It's just trying to kick your bum. You can either have your arms in front of you, or you can have them behind your back. Okay, cranking out some heel flicks. Really trying to kick your bum. Working on the range of motion at our knee joints. Perfect, really good guys. And then we'll go into some high knees, okay? Not a high knee sprint, just high knees. Let's try and maintain that intensity of 8 out of 10. Really good, everyone. And let's go back to some heel flicks. And then back to high knees. Just going to switch between the two for a bit. Heel flicks. High knees. Heel flicks. High knees. And then back to jogging. Then we're going to get onto the activate and mobilise section. Perfect. So onto the activate, we're all on the floor for this one. It's going to be glute bridges or single leg glute bridges. So when we're talking about glute bridges, feet close to our bum, we're pushing our hips up. If we're doing single legs, one leg on the floor, one leg off. For the normal glute bridges, we're going to do 10. For the single leg glute bridges, we'll just do 5 on each side, okay? Off we go. I'm going to start with single leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're doing single leg, switch. Leg, getting those hips nice and high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're doing single leg, switch over. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Everyone stand up for me. Next thing we're moving on to, we're going straight into a lunge and twist. So find a lunge position. Knees at 90-degree angles, heel on the floor, feet pointing forwards, and from here, just going to twist from side to side. So if everyone wants to do that now, we're going to do 5 twists on each side. Try not to let your back knee touch the floor. We'll start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once you've done that, switch onto the other side straight away. Okay? Back knee stays off the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. Awesome. Next section is going to be those seal stretches and downwards facing dogs. So starting off with a downwards facing dog, if everyone wants to copy me now, we're going to get your bum in the air, try and touch your heels on the floor. From this position, we're going to transition into a seal stretch, okay? Chest up, chin up. We're going to do 5 of those. 1, and 2. Breathe out when you're going into the seal stretch. And 3, 4, and 1 more, and 5. Perfect. From this position, we're going to try and look over our right shoulder. Just look behind us. Perfect. Now we're going to switch sides, just looking over the left shoulder. Awesome. And everyone stand up nice and slowly. The potentiate section, we are going to put some of what we learned last week into practice. We're going to do some single leg tall to smalls, okay? So getting up nice and tall on both legs. From this position, we're going to drop and catch it on one leg, okay? Catch it on one leg. We're going to start off now. We're going to do 3 on each side. So starting off with the left leg. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect, really good, nice, catch it. And on the right leg, 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect, so actively pulling ourselves down and catching it on one leg, nice and stiff on the landing. Number 2, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Right leg on the tiptoes, ready, set, go. Nice and quick, nice and quick. I want people to be nice and stiff on the landing, okay? Last one on each side, nice and tall. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect, last one. 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome, really good. Next exercise, just jogging along. I'm going to give you a countdown. I'm going to go 3, 2, and 1, and then we're going to do fast feet as fast as we can, okay? Getting those feet moving as quick as possible. So we're jogging along. In 3, 2, 1, go. Fast feet. And back to jogging. Really good. We're going to do that a few more times, getting that heart rate up, getting ourselves ready for action. 3, 2, 1, go. And back. 2 more times. 3, 2, 1, go. Really good. And stop, jogging. 1 more time, we'll do it for a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1, go. And stop. Perfect, grab yourselves a drink. We're going to get ready for set number 1. So, first exercise that we're going to be doing, it's going to be the same one as last week, okay? A little bit more practice doing this. Hopefully we can progress to the harder option. So, narrow squats to wide, starting off narrow, moving out wide, that's the first option. Second option, in and out of a jump. This is the second option. I'm moving between the 2 squat positions, okay? We're going to start in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Either narrow to wide. This one's the slightly easier option. No harm in doing this one. Work to your level. Or it's in and out. And with in and outs, we're jumping, starting off narrow, finishing wide. Really good. We're going to be doing 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off tonight. Okay, so same as last week. A few changes to the exercises to keep it nice and interesting. We got 10 seconds left. Almost there, 5 seconds. So just demonstrating both options. And stop there, 20 seconds rest. Next exercise. It's a little bit confusing. It's going to be 8 high knees. So it's 1 on each leg, okay? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then it's 2 jumps. Okay, off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 floor to ceilings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Perfect. At your own pace. Aiming for an 8 to 10 out of 10. Last 5 seconds. And stop there. Well done, everyone. Really good. Next exercise, you're going to hate me for this one. It's just a static lunge. Nice and boring, okay? 90-degree angles. We're going to hold it for 40 seconds in this position. If you need to, you can put your hand on the wall. Okay? Off we go. Static lunge. Right foot forwards. We'll do the other side in a minute. So we're just going to hold it. If you need to, put your arm on something for a little bit of balance. Okay, so look at my positioning here. 90-degree angle at the front. Hopefully that's a 90-degree angle. Can't see on the camera. And 90-degree angle at the back. And we're going to sit nice and low into the lunge. We're just going to hold it. Okay? Back knee does not touch the floor. See, I've got a nice gap. I'm going to hold it for a bit. May seem easy now, and stop there, but you'll be having a go at me when we get to round 3 or round 2, and we still got to do that. Next exercise we did last week, it's those predator jacks. Starting off nice and small, and coming out. So like a jumping jack, but we're going into a wide squat, okay? So arms are coming out and feet are coming out. Off we go. Okay, predator jacks next. 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Really good, guys. Let's see how you're getting on. Awesome, really good, Arnav. Perfect, Joe. Really good, Connor. Get nice and wide. Awesome, Rosie. Really good, Ben. Perfect, Jacob, as always. Nice. Really good, guys. Let's keep going. Almost there. That's 3 seconds. And stop there. 20 seconds rest. Next exercise is going to be the static lunge on the other side. So if you had your right leg in front last time, this time you're going to have your left leg in front. Again, key points. My back knee does not touch the floor. I don't want to see this. That's too easy. People are just sitting there. Back knee off the floor. Off we go. You can have your arms out for a counterbalance, or you can have your hand on the wall. And what we're after is this near 90-degree angle at the front, at the back. Sit into it, nice and upright. Toes pointed forwards, okay? It's not a fencing lunge, it's a gym lunge. We'll just hold it for a bit. Hopefully what will start to happen, you might feel your legs shaking a little bit. That's just to build up a byproduct of exercise. Really good. Perfect. The guys that I can see, really nice and still. And stop there. Awesome. Next exercise is going to be a commando plank or just a regular plank, okay? For the guys doing a regular plank, you can just hold it. If you want to add in a little bit of movement, you can touch your shoulders or your elbows. For the guys who are going for the commando plank, start off in the top position, off you go, and work down into the bottom position on your forearms. So we should all be doing that now. Really good. Don't mind what variation you're doing, as long as you're giving it a really good shot. Perfect, Joe. I like that. Nice. Well done, guys. For the people doing the commando plank, try to keep your hips nice and still. Hips nice and still. Perfect. Make sure that bum stays down. Everyone's looking really good. Almost there. Last 2 seconds. And stop there. Nice. 20 seconds rest. Next exercise, it's going to be squat jacks. Starting off nice and tall. Going to squat down and touch the floor, okay? A little bit like the in and outs we did before, but it's only one squat this time, okay? Nice and tall, dropping down. Off we go. Okay, I'll do it nice and slow for you guys. Nice and tall, dropping down. Everyone should be going now. And then switching between the 2 positions. Looking really good. We've got 20 seconds left. Okay, the idea for this one is I want to see you guys moving nice and quick. What I don't want to see is this. Jumping in, jumping out and just touching the floor, okay? Nice and quick. Moving between the 2 positions. Really good, everyone. And stop there. Perfect. 20 seconds rest. Next exercise. You're all going to hate me. It's tuck jumps. What we can do, if you want to do tuck jumps, you can start off with some little pogos. Okay, just jumping up, jumping down. You want to make that a little bit harder? A few pogos, go and throw in a tuck jump. Off you go, guys. And then for the others who have worked with me for a while, you know the drill. Constant tuck jumps. Getting those knees nice and high. Okay. Perfect. Really good. See how many full tuck jumps you can get in the time. Perfect. Really good, Rosie. Nice, Ben. Let's crank a few more out. Get those knees nice and high. Awesome. Really good, Crennan. Looks nice. Perfect, guys. Really good, and stop there. Next exercise. We've done it all before. It's a bear crawl, moving side to side, okay? Nice low position. My bum's not very high. You can rest the coffee on my back. It's that flat. We're just going to move between these two positions. Okay, side stepping twice each side. Off you go. Stepping side to side. Staying nice and low on the floor, okay? Really working our abs, upper body, our shoulders, our chest. Try and keep your feet underneath you. Awesome. Perfect, guys. Keep that bum nice and low. Really good. Almost there, last 10 seconds. Let's crank out a few more reps. Walking side to side, 2 steps each way. Doing the 2-step. And stop there. Awesome. Last exercise that we've got is burpees. We can come down, we can step out, we can step back in and do a little jump at the top. We can come down, kick out, kick back in, then do a jump, or we can do a full chest to floor burpee, or you can do a chest to floor burpee with a tuck jump if you're feeling brave. Okay, chest, off you go to floor, and a tuck jump, okay, off you go. Go through the options again, stepping down and out, kicking down, and jumping, chest to floor, chest comes onto the floor, coming up, and jumping, or chest to floor with a tuck jump. Okay, crack on with that. Let's see how you're getting on. Nice. Go on, Connor, throw in a few tuck jumps there for me. Go on, you can do it. There we go, that's what I like to see. Really good, guys. Perfect, really good, Jacob. And stop there, well done, everyone. Have yourselves a little rest, get some water on board. Really well done. That was a tough circuit to start. What we'll do is we'll have a little rest, get some water on board, and then we'll get back at it. Okay, so the reasons we're doing this, or the sort of workloads that we're doing, try and keep it nice and similar to fencing, although the movements are different. The intensities are the same. We're looking for that higher heart rates, that 8 to 10 out of 10 on the RPE scale. And then just in terms of the intensity as well. In terms of the timings, it's just a progression from what we've done over the previous weeks. You know, thinking about that progressive overload that we spoke about a few weeks ago, or in the first block of sessions that we did, progressive overload, just incremental increases each week, just to keep ourselves adapting. Yeah, really good. Okay, I'm going to wait for a few more of your faces to look like you've stopped sweating, and then we'll get on. Jacob looks fresh. He looks ready to go. Right, perfect. Back to it. So everyone get back to their little spaces. First exercise, it's going to be those in and out squats or the narrow to wides, okay? We're going to start in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Narrow to wides, or if you're feeling adventurous, we can do some in and outs. Really good. Really focusing on our lower limb muscles, getting ourselves match fit, ready for fencing. You can do this. You can do anything when it comes to the piece, going all day long. Okay, really good, guys. In and outs are a little bit too tricky. We can do narrow to wides, okay? If at any point you need to have a little rest, stand up, shake your legs out, and get straight back into it, okay? Minimal rest. 2, 1, stop there, 20 seconds off. Next exercise again, 8 high knees, 2 floor to ceilings. I'll do the first few with you, and then you guys go at your own intensity, okay? After that, 8 to 10 out of 10 on our rating of perceived exertion. 3 seconds, and off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Perfect. Got your own intensity. Looking really good, guys. 15 seconds. Let's keep going. Keep it up. Make sure those knees are going nice and high. Go on, Joe. Get those knees up. Looking good, though. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Really good. Almost there. 2 seconds. And stop there. 20 seconds rest. Next exercise. Back to those static lunges, okay? So again, just going to hold it. Hopefully this time, it's going to be a little bit harder. So this is called an isometric muscle contraction. The muscle is neither shortening nor lengthening. And off we go. Into that isometric lunge. A little lunge hold. Make sure that back knee is not touching the floor. If you need to have a counterbalance, get your arms out. If you need to put your hand on something, do so. But I want these 90-degree knee angles. Chest up. Sitting into it, and we can stay here for as long as we want. Okay, everyone's looking really strong. Perfect, that's 10 seconds, we're almost there. Everyone's doing really well. Just keep going. Stay strong and see a few people wobbling. Keep going and stop there. Awesome. Next exercise. It's going to be those predator jacks, okay? Starting off nice and small, the legs should be feeling it by now. Starting off nice and small, jumping out, nice and wide, okay? Predator jacks, making yourselves as big as possible at the bottom and as small as possible at the top, okay? Off we go. Another cardiovascular exercise to get your heart working. Really good. We're really focusing on our conditioning with these circuits. Given the current limitations and we can't get a hold of a gym, can't get access to any weights, this is the best investment we can make in terms of our fitness and getting ourselves ready for fencing. 10 seconds left. Just remember, if you're not improving, you're going backwards because everyone else is improving. So you're making a really good decision by doing these sessions. And stop there. Awesome. Next exercise, back to that static lunge, but on the other side, okay? Can't tell if my camera angle's okay. Hopefully you can see me square on. In this position, sitting nice and low. We're going to go in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and off we go. Okay, you can see me front on now. Chest nice and tall. Hands on the hips. Let's keep going, last 5 seconds. Really good. 2, 1, stop there. Awesome. Give your legs a good shake. Perfect, well done, guys. Next exercise, commando plank or plank, okay? It's just a plank, we're going to hold it. We're going to stay there, no movement, making sure our bum stays down. Otherwise, add in some elbow taps, shoulder taps, or do a commando plank, okay? Off we go. Make sure that bum stays down. Tense those glutes together. That's your bum muscles. Nice, looking good. Awesome, let's keep it up. Perfect, well done to the guys on the commando plank. Make sure our hips are staying nice and still if we're doing the commando plank. Perfect. 5 seconds. And stop there. Awesome, well done everyone. Next exercise, squat jacks. This time, as quick as we can, okay? Last time doing this exercise, let's really empty the tank, take it right to the limit, okay? We're gonna go in 5 seconds, 8 to 10 out of 10 on our RPE scale. 2, 1, off we go. Nice and quick. Switching between the 2 positions. Really good, everyone. I like the look of it. Let's get as many reps in as possible. 25 seconds left. Okay, almost there. In the grand scheme of things, that's no time at all when it's compared to the end of the session. Okay, ooh, let's keep going. Lost my coordination for a second there. Really good. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop there. Great work, everyone. Next exercise, it's those tuck jumps. Okay, little pogos of a tuck jump, or continuous tuck jumps. Jumping through them, okay, we're going to start in 2 seconds. 1, off you go. Arms to tuck jumps. Really good, the guys that I can see. Perfect. As many tuck jumps as you can. Really good exercise for the heart again. Making ourselves work really hard. Really good, guys. Perfect, I like the look of it. Let's keep going. If you got a low ceiling, watch your head. 13 seconds left. 5 seconds. And stop there, 20 seconds rest. Next exercise. Back onto the floor. It's onto the bear crawls. Going side to side. Okay, 2 steps each way. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, moving side to side with the bear crawl. Off you go, keeping that bum nice and low. Penultimate exercise, okay? We're almost done. Stay nice and low down. Okay, how are you guys getting on? Perfect, try and keep the feet underneath you. Okay, Arnav, let's pull those feet in. There we go, much better, that's perfect. Remember, I'm just gonna rest my coffee on top of you. I don't want you to be spilling it. Perfect, everyone. Really good. Ben, get that bum down. Same with you, Jacob. Bum down and stop there. Perfect. Last exercise is burpees. Okay. Either stepping out, stepping back in, coming up, kicking out, or chest to floor. Have a little tuck jump if you want, okay? Completely up to you. And off we go. Cracking out those burpees. Nice and quick. Let's get as many done as possible. Really good, guys. Let's empty the tank. Last exercise of the set. Really good, really impressive. I want to see loads of pop off the floor, okay? Nice and quick. Perfect, Rosie. Really good. Attempting the chest to floors. Nice, really good, guys. Plenty of pop coming off the floor. Awesome, keep going, keep going, keep going. Almost there. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and stop there. Great work, everyone. I want everyone to take their heart rates. So manually take your heart rate for 10 seconds, times that by 6, and then email it over to me. Okay, I'm going to start our recovery timer. Perfect. So we've got 5 minutes of Q&A left. So anyone got any questions about anything we've done today? If not, I'll address some feedback by basically explaining what we've gone through. Summing it all up, we started off with the first portion of the session, going through sleep. We went about why sleep generally, why it's important, What happens if you don't get enough sleep? In terms of our injury rates, increased by 1.7 times if we get less than 8 hours of sleep. And then we went over some sleep hygiene in terms of ways that maybe that could potentially help you guys get to sleep if you're not already doing it. Sleep's something we all have to do, so you may as well make the most of it. You may as well get it right. In the workout session, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 10 exercises, really focusing on your conditioning. Okay, so at the moment, this is the best investment that we can make in terms of our health and fitness, getting ourselves ready for match situations. We can't go to the club at the moment, so it's just about making do with what we've got. And everyone gave it a really good effort. It's really good. Okay, we've got 30 seconds before we take our heart rates again. Next week, I'll get some data back for you guys. We'll see if there's any trend in your recovery heart rates. Hopefully that'll show us if you've improved in fitness. I know it did last time. Okay, 15 seconds, we'll take those again. You can tell it's cold. I've got like bloody steam coming off me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just take your heart rate for 10 seconds. Times that by 6 and send it to my email. georgebmorris.ac@gmail.com. Perfect. Everyone did really well today. For the guys that I can see, it looked awesome. Okay, we're definitely improving in fitness. Definitely, everything's looking a lot cleaner. Everything's looking a lot more strict. And you just got a high work rate, so I'm really happy with that. Last 3 minutes. Does anyone have any questions on anything to do with the session today, or just anything in general to do with either sports science or strength and conditioning? I'll try my best to get an answer to you. Cheers, Jacob Folsham. He wins the prize. He was the first person to send it in. So no questions. If anyone's got anything that they don't want me to announce over the group, just send me a private message on the chat and I'll reply to you. I won't let anyone know what your name is. Perfect. Yeah, guys, when it comes to the training, if you are injured, you don't have to do it. Everyone gets a lot from the presentation, or I think you gain a lot for the presentation. The real thing that I wanted to give to you guys was basically sharing information with you. Hopefully I'm doing that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Okay, 2 more minutes. If no one's got any questions, we can just sign off now.